All right, you guys, this is Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click on that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our installment. All right, guys, we got to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. And why is Jahmyr Gibbs the running back that the Detroit Lions selected to be in Detroit? There's various of reasons and variables that we can talk about. I think one of the things that the Detroit Lions really liked about Jahmyr Gibbs is his playmaking ability and his explosiveness. Number two would be his explosiveness. You know what I think the reason why the Lions opted to take Gibbs instead of Bijan Robinson. Number one, I think it was because of the huge contract that Bijan would have been getting in his rookie season. I think that kind of deterred them a little bit, and they didn't want to draft them as high because if you're getting drafted at 6, you're getting paid some big dollars, and you get drafted later in the first round, the money is a little bit less. Being drafted at 12 and being drafted at 6, it's like totally different. It's some millions of dollars kind of apart. But I think the real reason why they selected Jahmyr Gibbs is because they saw a running back that had the explosiveness of Jameson Williams. That's ultimately why they went up to get Gibbs. Now, some say that, the Lions pretty much was going to take Gibbs at 6 because they liked him more than what they liked Bijan Robinson. Now, Bijan Robinson can do the same things that Gibbs is. I think Gibbs is a little bit more explosive with the ball, but Bijan Robinson offers the same thing, and you can't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll see how Bijan Robinson turns out with the Atlanta Falcons, and we'll see how Jahmyr Gibbs turns out with the Detroit Lions. Now, picking a running back in the first round, I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. I didn't see it coming because, people in the narratives of always saying that, you don't take a running back in the first round. You take them in the second round. You take them in the rounds later. You know what I'm saying? But if you feel like it's a special player, you have the right to draft whatever player you want. So I think that people using that narrative need to kind of stay away from that because, if you see a guy that you really like and this guy can bring that added punch on your team, or this guy can bring that talent to your team that your team didn't have before, or they bring a different dynamic to the team, then you can't just say taking a running back in the second round or the later rounds. If you see something that you really, really like, you got to go up and get it. And I think that's what the Detroit Lions did again. They saw a running back that had value. They saw a running back that was going to be able to be productive out of the backfield. And let's face it, Jameson Williams is going to be out for 6 games. So you need to be able to get productivity from somebody. And I think that Gibbs is going to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether or not he starts over David Montgomery, I don't know. I think David Montgomery will probably have to notch up because he's a veteran. But I mean, being drafted in the first round, I don't know, man. Gibbs could be the starter. I don't know, but we'll see. I think they're probably going to let those guys battle it out, which they definitely need to have. Let these guys battle it out and see who's going to be the number 1 versus number 2. It probably ends up being Montgomery because of his veteran leadership, but it also could be Jahmyr Gibbs because of his explosiveness and him being drafted in the first round. And I was very surprised, man. I gotta admit, man, I know I haven't talked about the draft in a minute because I've been truly busy with my family and also with my kids because my kids play football as well. So I've been tremendously busy with my boys and watching them grow and play football and things of that nature. But when it comes to the situation that I see in Detroit, I just think that the Detroit Lions liked the explosiveness. They liked the big playability out of Gibbs, and getting Gibbs at 12. I think that for the Lions, it was a sweeter deal for them. Even if they didn't get Bijan Robinson, if they got a Zach Charbonnet or somebody like that, that was a great pickup by the Seahawks to get Zach Charbonnet, and now they have Kenny Walker over there too. Man, that's going to be a nasty 1-2 punch over there, man. Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet. But at the same time, I love what Detroit did. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a very, very talented player. I'm not mad at the draft pick at all. I know you guys have not heard from me on Gibbs or the linebackers or anything like that. But today, I got time today. So basically, I made that time for you guys to be able to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. But I think that explosiveness is what the Lions fell in love with. I think the big playability and being able, because Bijan Robinson, if you watch film on him too as well, he can do everything that Gibbs can do. He can catch out of the slot. He can catch as a receiver. He can catch out of the backfield. Now, I think that one thing that Bijan does better than Gibbs is probably pass protection. Definitely, I know that that's one of the things that he does better than Gibbs does. But Gibbs definitely is an explosive running back. I don't want to take anything away from this kid. I'm hoping that he is everything that Jahmyr Best couldn't be for the Detroit Lions. Last time we had a speedy running back like this, it was Jahmyr Best, who's about, 5'10", something like that. Around the same size is Jahmyr Gibbs is. And Jahmyr Best's career ended really, really fast, man. You know, you thought that this guy was going to be box office, but because of those concussions on the field, he pretty much had to retire and go into a different direction. But I think what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to give Detroit, he's going to light it up. He's going to give Goff that safety blanket. Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown are going to be like the safety blankets on the Detroit Lions offense. I feel like he's going to catch a lot of balls out of the backfield. This kid could end up catching probably 50 receptions on the season, you know, especially with Jameson Williams not being there. And it's going to hurt, man, because having him gone for a 6 game, you really don't get to see the full onslaught of the offense. And you're not going to see that until week 7, until Jameson Williams comes back. You know, so far, Jameson Williams, his career is kind of starting on a shaky thing, but that doesn't mean that he can't turn things around and be a primetime performer when he comes back. We definitely need Jameson Williams to mature up and grow up a little bit and take notice of the things that the do's and don'ts in the NFL. He needs to definitely get that handbook so he'll know, so that doesn't ever happen to him. Because I'm thinking that he probably already knew what happened to Calvin Ridley, who was gone for an entire season. So you can't be doing those type of things, man, because it affects the team and it hurts the situation, man. You want to be at full strength when you go out there for week 1. And now the Detroit Lions won't have their option of having him for the first 6 games. But I think that Gibbs is going to pick up the production where Jameson Williams would have probably caught some balls. I think Gibbs will pick up those balls and he'll catch those balls. And he'll be that weapon that Detroit Lions need. I want to be more than just seeing him catch up the backfield. I want to see how nice he is with running the football as well. It ain't just about him catching the ball out of the backfield. How well can he run the football as well? Can he run, you know what I'm saying, up the middle? Can he run off the tackle? Can he run to the outside? I want to see all of that, man. I know this kid has been compared to Alvin Kamara, and I understand because he has that Alvin Kamara type feel or type look. But at the same time, you want him to be an explosive running back. Alvin Kamara wasn't drafted in the first round. He was taken, in the 3rd or the 4th, something like that? And Gibbs is being taken in the 1st round. The Detroit Lions thought enough about this kid to come up and take him in the 1st round. They didn't even wait this year. Normally, Detroit Lions take a running back in the 2nd round. That's always been their philosophy of taking running backs in the 2nd round. But this year, Brad Holmes did something that nobody thought that he was going to do. So everybody else was playing checkers while he was playing chess. We thought that he was going to do something totally different. I think what everybody had their minds set on was Jalen Carter. And not only Jalen Carter, Kancey too as well. Because we know we need interior guy that can be able to get that pressure up the middle. And I think that's where the fans thought that we were going to go. That we were going to either take Jalen Carter or we was going to take Kancey in the 1st round. And Kancey got selected right after they picked Jack Campbell. That's crazy. Right after the Lions picked Jack Campbell, Kancey was selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, man, I think the real reason why the Detroit Lions have Gibbs in Detroit is because they love the explosion. They love his home run threat ability and his big play ability. It's what the Lions truly fell in love with. And that's the reason why Gibbs is in Detroit and Robinson is with the Falcons. All right, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit that like button for me, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here. Peace.